Your results speak for themselves. $900,000 in sales without ever showing your face one time.
I wouldn't say it's ideal to make faceless content. Obviously, I think faces sell a lot better in general. I'm just saying it's possible to do it, and that if that's really what you want to do, you can totally do it. That's kind of the beauty of being able to make faceless content and be successful, is that if you don't want someone else to see you or you don't want employers to see it, you can totally do it. Like I'm proof of that. I'm making $12,000 in the background, probably spending a total in August of maybe 6 hours probably on TikTok Shop.
What's going on, everybody? Welcome back to another episode of the Social Army Podcast. I'm your host, Bryce, and I have a really cool and interesting guest with me today. He goes by the name Aiden, and on TikTok, this man has been able to master the art of creating videos faceless, which a lot of people seem to have issues with, because creating good engagement and really just spreading the emotion that's needed when selling isn't something that happens very well when you're doing faceless content, because people obviously want to see what you look like and get a read for your eyes and your expressions and things like that. But Aiden's gone through and seemed to have figured it out, and has done, I think, over $700,000 in total sales, or at least close to, on TikTok Shop, which is just absolutely incredible, and especially for somebody with as much on his plate as he's got. So without any further delay, like always, I want to get right into the meat and potatoes of all this, and let's go ahead and introduce Mr. Aiden. Aiden, if you would.
Yeah, appreciate it, Bryce. Yeah.
Of course.
So my name's Aiden, obviously. I'm 22 years old, just turned 22. I've been doing TikTok since January. That's when I first started. My roommate used to do it, and he sort of referred me, and I tried it in January, and it just wasn't really working for me. Things weren't clicking. I was getting violations left and right. I had to wait until those violations kind of lifted until I really started pumping out content again in March. And since then, Bryce, like Bryce said, I've actually done closer to 900,000 now, a little over 900.
900. My
So
gosh, almost a million.
yes, so getting there day by day. And I would say that my favorite part about it is just the fact that if you truly do need a day off, if you have other things going on in your life, whether it's school, whether it's kids or work, whatever it may be, everyone has something. I love that you can take a day off and you still have the chance to make a significant amount of money while you're doing whatever it is that you need to take care of, whether it's yourself or someone else. So that's what I
That's
love about it.
huge. And that's huge. And that's so true. I mean, I went on vacation for 12 days, about a month and a half, 2 months ago,
Mhm.
and I didn't post for 2 weeks. Granted,
Yeah,
I still had residuals coming in from previous videos, but when I got back, the third video I posted when I got back went viral. So, I mean, it's so true. I mean, you don't have to constantly, I mean, consistency is key within this game. Don't get me
of course,
wrong.
of
But if
course.
you need that time to just take a step back, you don't have to worry about taking as big of an impact, because you're always able to somewhat pick up right where you left off, as long as you go back to being as consistent as you were before you stopped. So that's awesome. That's awesome. Well, you said you're 22 years old, man. Are you in school?
Yes, I'm in school right now, so this is my last semester. I'm out here in Arizona. It's my last semester of
Nice.
school. I've been working on going to law school, so a lot of my free time lately has been studying for the LSAT, which I take this week, later this week. And like I kind of mentioned before, just now about making money when you don't necessarily have the time to be consistent. Obviously, being
Hmm.
consistent is huge. That's the name of the game. Consistency is key. But I
Right.
mean, in August alone, I've really been grinding for this test just because it has huge implications on whether or not you get into law school, or what
Sure.
schools you get into. But I've really been inconsistent, haven't even been posting every day, just been kind of relying on drafts and what I have. And I still in August made $12,000 just doing something that I felt like I needed to do was important. I'm making $12,000 in the background, probably spending a total in August of maybe 6 hours probably on TikTok Shop.
That is such
And
an insane thing to say. You've averaged $2,000 an hour in the time you spent on TikTok. Like, that's
literally,
crazy.
it's insane. It's such a blessing too. But I mean, yeah, what you talk about being able to take time off. Obviously, I want to work all the time. I want to continue making
Right.
money, continue growing. But like we've been talking about, if you don't have the time to, or you have other obligations, you can really set yourself up for, sustained success over time without ever having
Right.
to apply yourself.
And that's so crazy to think about. I mean, 6 hours of effort put in on top of studying, yet you still have quadruple the average income for a U.S. household, not just an individual, but a household, in a month's time with very minimal effort. It's just amazing what this program can do. And you said your roommate was doing TikTok Shop, right? So he kind of put you on. I know you and I have kind of had this conversation in the past, but refresh my memory here. Was he was pretty successful with it, wasn't he,
Yeah.
during 2023?
Yes, he was really successful. So
Right.
he was always in the drop shipping and was always kind of into
Mm.
these entrepreneurship type um endeavors, I guess you could say. And so he picked up TikTok Shop around, I think it was October of last year. So he was in it for almost all of Q4 last year in 2023. And
Best
he would
time
just,
ever to get into
yes,
it too.
yes, no matter what you posted, it just seemed like you were automatically getting views. And if you had half good content, it seemed like you almost had a 50% chance of just crushing it, which he did. And I was working a job at that time, just trying to pay for
Right.
school. I was working a serving job at a steakhouse, and I would just come home and this guy's just he's making his videos in the living room. I'm like how much could he actually be making off that? Because I mean
Right.
he drives a car that he bought himself and he's always getting, nice groceries, whereas I was kind of just buying the cheap whatever I could get. And I was like, how is he doing this? So I asked him about it, and he's like, dude, it's really not that hard. He's like, I'll just show you how to make a video. I'll show you how to apply to be a creator. And once he did that, I started getting to it. Now, I tried to go 100 miles per hour and try to get to, he said he made about $100,000. I was trying to get, that was my goal, just make $100,000, make as much
Right.
money as quickly as I could. I had to slow down a little bit. That's kind of why I got in a little bit of trouble and a little bit of a hassle in January because I was just posting like he was, where you didn't even have to have the product in hand.
Right. You could record screens and all types of stuff.
Right, people could just look up a product on Amazon. Everyone had it.
Yeah.
You could just film your screen and you were ready to go. Obviously, that's not the case anymore. You should never film without the product in hand. But I'm just saying
Yes.
that
Yes.
last year, that's how it worked, and that's why he was so successful. Um, and that's why I picked it up. I was just like, I would love to have more time to study, more free time, and not just dedicate free time to homework,
Right.
exams, and work.
I mean, good for you going through school, being able to, pick up on something that you knew was going to require less time and effort out of you than actually having to work a physical job. Most people at your age would look at that as more of a challenge to avoid versus something to kind of embrace. So, I mean, that's really, really, really smart. And the fact that you're going to law school, man, kudos to you. I know you and I have talked about that a few different
Thank you.
times, but
Thank you.
that's absolutely crazy. And being able to juggle it as well. You're very well spoken for your age, which is good. You don't really see that a whole lot nowadays, so that's awesome. Man, your roommate being able to spark that flame underneath your ass. I mean, that's
Yeah.
crazy. Now,
Yeah.
what made you want to go like the faceless route? Is it because of the like career that you're pursuing, more or less?
So I'd say there's a couple reasons. I would love to
Uh
say
huh.
that's only because of the career, like whatever. Just I don't want employers to see it or whatnot. Now that I look back, that really wasn't the biggest my concern. I was just afraid to be judged, honestly, by my friends because the way the
Yep.
For You page works, if and my friends still see my videos. If you post a video, everyone in your area or anyone that you interact with on TikTok is gonna see your videos.
Yep.
Um, so I went unnoticed, and I went unnoticed for about a month or two, and then my friends were like, is that you? Because I kind of like brought it up, and then I started making some money, and then that's when I was kind of like, guys, like you should check this out too. This is pretty awesome, and that's kind
Right.
of where I stopped caring. But I wish I wouldn't have been so afraid of what other people thought at the beginning. I guess it's really
Sure.
easy to look back in hindsight and be like, oh, like it's why was I so worried? But
Sure.
I think it's important that everyone can can enter TikTok Shop regardless of their situation, whether they want other people to see them or don't want them for whatever reason.
Right.
That's kind of the beauty of being able to make faceless content and be successful is that if that applies to you where you don't want someone else to see you or you don't want employers to see it, you can totally do it. Like I'm proof of that. I've seen tons of other
100%.
people more successful than me, crush it with faceless content. So it's possible. I wouldn't say it's ideal to make faceless content. Obviously, I think faces sell a lot better in general. I'm just saying it's possible to do it, and that if that's really what you want to do, you can totally do it.
I mean, your results speak for themselves. $900,000 in sales without ever showing your face one time is insane. I mean, to be honest with you, it now, like you said, it's not ideal per se. Because emotion is what sells. When sales 101 is it's 80% of how you say it and only 20% of what you say. Your emotion, your conviction, your body language, everything goes towards that. So being able to achieve the success that you have with with all of that going against you and only being able to use your tonality and your skills of creating content is massive. a lot of people, lack the ability to get creative as well when they're doing faceless content, because you do have to keep the viewer engaged. I mean, you have to have jump cuts, you have to have good tonality, and a lot of your content is most likely voiceovers because of all the cuts that you have to have in between. So, I mean,
Exactly.
you've mastered something that a lot of people struggle with. I mean, hell, even people who show their face struggle being able to find the success on this. So that's great. And some of your early videos too, like your transitions and jump cuts are great. Like the shoe videos are hilarious. I love that because you could just slam I actually copied one of your transitions with some shoes the other day where you were sitting there and you slammed the shoes down onto your feet and they were there. I copied that the other day. So I didn't do too well, but who knows? We'll see.
I mean, well, and not doing too well when you only posted the other day. I know you know this, but those kind of videos that I made, a lot of those videos have made more money in, say they were posted 4 months ago. I would say a lot of those videos have made more money in the last 2 months than they did in the first 2 months. Like, it's just crazy how once the ball gets rolling, it starts gaining momentum. It's just that snowball effect where all of a sudden you get that video and that shoe video. I don't know which one exactly you're talking about because I make so many that are so similar.
Right.
But I have one now with like, I think 14.5 million, and it's just that transition. It's just dropping the shoes. I've done that video, that same exact video with almost the same script. I've probably made that 10 times. And I think that speaks to being consistent. Like, your idea might be good. You might have a great idea and a great script and a great video. The set of 200 people that first saw it, those just might not be the 200 people that it needed to go to. If you post it again, maybe it gets to the 200 people that it should have gone to. And if just 10 of those people are even half interested, maybe 2 or 3 of those people even buy the product, that's when you're going to start seeing that video take off and then get pushed and pushed and pushed. And I think that's the incredible part about it.
100%. And for those of you that don't understand what he just said there about the first 200 people, TikTok has a wave system. Whenever you post the video, this is why so many people get stuck in 200 view jail. But whenever you post the video, TikTok's going to put it out to an initial group of about 200 people. Depending on the watch time, the interactions, the comments, the likes, and things of that nature, on how those first 200 people interact with that video will determine if it moves on to the next wave of 200 to 500 people. Once you start breaking past about 1,000 views, generally your videos have potential to go viral. But it takes getting to that initial 1,000 or more views in order for it to happen. If you don't get past 200 views, there's 2 reasons. Either A, the video quality is absolutely terrible, or B, you have a really bad hook and you failed to completely captivate your audience in the first 3 seconds of that video. And the first 200 people that watched it just scrolled by. Odds are you can go to your analytics and you'll see your average watch time is probably less than 2 seconds, which points towards a failing video. But if you have an average watch time of 5 seconds or more and your hook is only a couple of seconds long, you're doing a pretty good job and your video should get pushed out to the next wave. But just a quick, simple explanation on that. And a lot of people don't understand that. But TikTok is literally just, it's not even really a guessing game. It's a game of quality and quantity. If you can put out quality content in quantity, you're going to find success somewhere.
No, that's exactly what it is. It's literally just an XY axis, quality, quantity, and the higher up here you are, the more destined you are for success. That's literally
100%. So yeah, I mean that's exactly what it is. I mean, the more quality and quantity you put out, the more likely you are to find success in there. So, real quick, man, you've done close to $1 million in total sales. What is your most popular product? I know shoes have been a really good one for you, but I think you're going to catch the audience off guard when you tell them this next one. What's your most popular product outside of those shoes?
Yes, I mean, you hit it right there. The shoes had the most views, but if we want to talk about the product that's I've had the most success with, multiple million view videos, and the bulk of my, not the bulk, but I would say about like 60-70% of what I made has came from a memory foam contour pillow. It's actually right here behind me. I'll show you. It looks like this. So I was just going on the TikTok shop one day back in March when I started making money again, and I think I had somewhere about $50 in coupons from TikTok. It was buy $10 you get 50, or something crazy like that. And I was just looking for products that, hey, if it doesn't make any money, at least I'll be able to use it. This looked like a nice pillow. I needed a new pillow, memory foam. Why not? Started making videos with it. 200 views, 300 views, 1 million. And it was just like, wait, what? Like, I couldn't believe it. It was just crazy to me that something like this.
Well, I have a question. How did you make a video on pillows without showing your face?
yeah, a lot of the comments say like, yeah, sorry, messed up there.
No,
How
you're
about
fine.
you
You're fine.
want to just
How
ask
did
that
you end up
again?
making videos on a pillow without having to show your face?
That's kind of the beauty of the faceless videos is I'm just
Right.
using my phone. I'm making the quick cuts. You have to make a pillow interesting, and that's not an easy thing to do.
Right. That's
Um,
what I mean. Like, how did
yeah,
you like that's crazy?
yeah. No, I would just prop it on my bed like this. I was in a similar apartment, just propped it on my bed, and I'm taking my phone and I'm just going quickly across. I'm going quickly across. I'm kind of working towards a gradual reveal of the product, and then all of a sudden, by like the fourth or fifth second after there's been these couple half to full second cuts, all of a sudden that's where I zoom out and it's like, oh, it's a pillow. But the audience hopefully is so fixated on the fact that like, what is this leading to? Like, what is this guy
Right.
showing me? I can't even tell what this is. Hopefully by that point it's already 2 to 3 to 4 seconds in, and they've kind of met that threshold for the video to keep getting pushed.
Right.
That yeah, that the video that's something like this, even as boring as a regular old memory foam contour pillow, you can get
It's so
sales on and
funny.
have success with. So yeah, and I think like another point I want to make is that you don't have to hop on a super popular product to be successful. Like you don't have to have the right product, the most ideal product. A lot of things, if you really believe it's a good product after you have it in hand, and at least 1 or 2 people start buying it consistently, I think you can have success with almost anything that is out there.
Yeah, 100%. The only things I would look for in that is making sure that the shop that you're choosing to sell a product from is reputable. That's it.
Yeah,
If they're a
exactly.
shop that's got a few thousand sales already, but they've got a product that's fairly new, that's
Hmm.
okay. I mean, you can single-handedly make products viral. I've done it.
Yeah,
A few other people in the community have done it. I mean, it happens. It's just you might have to post a couple of videos on it first
yeah,
to really get it there. But bringing the awareness to the product is not difficult to do when you make good quality content because TikTok will push it out there.
exactly.
It's crazy what TikTok will do. And the algorithm is insane. It's the most powerful algorithm in the entire world when it comes to
Crazy.
social media. Yeah, it's insane.
So in
So
depth.
real quick, Aiden, in regard to some of like the training and resources that you've been able to find outside of just your roommate, how did you find out about Social Army?
Social Army, so I was actually, I would just go on my For You page, and every now and then I would come across, if anyone's ever heard of Shot by Jake, he's in Social Army. He's a great
Yes.
guy. I saw his lives, I saw Bryce's lives. If anyone knows Ashley Revival Tribe or Revive Tribe, I would
Mm-hmm.
see her, and I wouldn't watch these people's lives. Like I'm just on my For You page. I see them coming up every now and then. I keep scrolling. Well, I mean, as I got into TikTok Shop and was like, wow, like these guys have, these posted results at the top of their screen. I want to make money like that. Like, how are they doing that? Like, what are they doing differently from what I'm
Right.
doing? Like I feel like I'm doing pretty good. That was just me being naive as a beginner. And especially as I started to fail, I was like, well, maybe I need to start, you know, listening to at least what they have to say. I'll take it with a grain of salt since it's just, some stranger out there.
Sure. Some random dude on TikTok shop with a screenshot. Who knows if it's even theirs or not?
Right, right, exactly. It could just be edited or whatnot. But what I didn't know when I was seeing these people on my For You page, you, Jake, Ashley, I didn't know that you guys were all part of the same community.
Mhm.
So once I slowly over time, maybe over the course of like a week or two, started watching these lives, trying to get better, and then realized that you guys were all part of Social Army, I was like, wait a second. Like, first of all, this adds a little bit of credibility because you guys are all
Sure.
part of some sort of organization. But then two, the fact that you three who have been massively successful on TikTok already are part of the same community, I feel like that's something that I should want to be a part of. So I looked into it and I was like, well, looks like I think it was a $12 subscription for a week. I was like, I'm just gonna get it for
Yeah.
a week. I'm gonna screenshot all of their documents. I'm gonna get out of there fast as I can, like whatever. I'm gonna get all the info I can and get out. I ended up saying I haven't left. That was back in, March, and I'm still here. Um, I kept paying my weekly subscription all that time, and it's just awesome to see that, this really was what I thought it could be in a best case scenario, and
Sure.
Social Army really has been. It's just a community, and just I would say my favorite part about Social Army is just the fact that we have that main chat with everyone in it, everyone from the top earners to
Mhm.
newcomers. There's no entitlement gap. Like
None.
a
Yeah.
newcomer can ask any question, and there's a chance that that you or whoever, Melissa, all this GMV can they can reply to you, and it's just crazy
Hmm.
that everyone's learning at the same time because TikTok's constantly changing.
Right.
there's things that a newcomer might know that, a top earner might not, because it's info that just came out last night. You know what I mean?
Right. And it
Only,
happens all the time. I mean, like for
yes,
instance, myself, I don't browse through all the updates like I used to, but
right.
all these newbies who are into it do. So they bring
Exactly.
so much fresh information to our eyes. It's like, holy shit, thanks for
Yeah.
finding that. It's
Yeah.
crazy. No, you're 100% right. And you know what's crazy about this whole thing? I'm listening to you talk about this. You now are a part of Social Army. You have your own module and everything inside the course,
Hmm.
which is crazy.
Yeah.
You went from
Yeah.
watching us all on live
It's
to now
insane.
having
Yes.
your own section within inside the course that we teach. So
It's so crazy. It's
it's
so crazy.
awesome.
It's really, I wish I could put it into perspective better than just saying I literally went from just watching your lives, and now
Right,
I'm not in the same position as you, but I have my own module in the course
right.
that you were advocating for, and it's just crazy to see how that growth came all within the time span that I've been, in Social Army. So I mean, that's just incredible. And if that's not
It
a
is.
testimony, then I don't know what is, because that's
It is.
awesome.
And for those of you that don't know, we do have an entire course. If this is your first time watching anything, either Social Army related or TikTok Shop related, we do have our own course with Inside Social Army. It's on a website called WAP. There's going to be a link at the bottom of this for you guys to go check out. But in that course, there's over 3 hours of course material made by just me. And then we have modules from Aiden, who does his faceless module. We have a slideshow module. Ashley has her own module, and there's just tons of modules and tons of case studies with I think we have over almost
Super
20
cool.
hours, yeah, of just material for you to go binge watch to learn everything TikTok Shop related. So, I mean, if
Mhm.
you want to value add outside of just the community aspect, that course is jam packed with so much information. It's hard to beat.
Seriously.
And it'll teach you everything you need to know. I mean, Aiden goes over all of his faceless techniques. I go over pretty much just the basics of TikTok Shop and how to properly sell, and all types of stuff. So yeah, definitely check that out if you have the time. So, but no, that's so cool, man. I
Yeah.
mean, to watch you just go from lingering around in those lives to really just joining in, and then to having full on conversations, and then to making your own portion inside the course is just great to see. I love
Insane.
it.
It's
I
awesome.
love it. So, how do you pick your products, man? I ask everybody who comes on the podcast this because I like to hear how other people go through and filter what they want to promote and what they don't want to promote. Do you have a specific way or certain things that you look for when choosing a product?
Hmm. So we kind of touched on this earlier about,
Hmm.
making sure the shop's verified.
Right.
I usually I look for products that I like, products that I would want for myself, because I feel like if there's a product that I would like for myself, I would probably be a better seller of it than a product where I'm kind of iffy on it and wouldn't
Of
really,
course.
you know what I mean? If you can be more genuine, being genuine in your videos is huge. That's why having
Massive.
a face is awesome. But I'm trying to be as genuine as I can as a human to another human without showing my face. So I feel
Right.
like if you can hear that in my voice, which is one of the few tools that I have without a face, then I feel like there's a better chance of me, making that sale to you. So that's why I'm looking for products that first I would like. And then the two criteria I look for after that is a product that has at least 1,000 sales. So even if it's just 1,010 or 1,100, that's good enough
Sure.
for me. And I'd love to see over 4 stars already for that seller. I feel like that is a great combo of, reputable, but also has already made consistently good products for people. And kind of like with the pillow only had about 1,100 sales when I first chose it. Now it has over 100,000. So I feel like the potential, when you pick a product that has lower sales, kind of like that, is that you could kind of be the, you could kind of be like the flag bearer for that product, introducing it to
Right.
TikTok, and that's when you can just make, crazy money, like I kind of did with the pillow and with the shoes. Is I was kind of one of the first people to promote that specific product, and I feel like that kind of gave me the platform to have my videos pushed more and more often, not only by the seller, but also by TikTok, as it
Right.
kind of gained popularity. But I would say popular products in general, yeah, I'll choose those on occasion. I usually take them with a grain of salt because I don't want to be late to a trend. I'm ordering a product and then 2 weeks go by, I get the product and it's like, well, people aren't really buying that anymore, or someone already has, several million views on a video. That video is probably going to get ad money and pushed out more than mine would. So
Right.
I
You
like
know, I,
yeah. Sorry, go ahead.
no, you're fine. I had the same thought on some of these products, but I will say on videos that are products that are like super trending and mega viral, it's not a bad idea to jump on it, even if you fall in a week behind. It's not a bad idea because my most viral video did 19 million views. The product that it was on, there was already million view videos, several, and it had already sold 130 some odd thousand units. But I went on to have the most viral video on that product, even after the fact. So like sometimes it's not a bad thing to jump on a super trending, like super viral product if it's like an evergreen style of product. However, if you're looking at a product that's not so evergreen, something that's seasonal, you need to be on those trends early if it's something that's crazy viral.
Exactly. That's more what I meant about trending. If it's a mega successful product, it's like the bubble blaster. If that's if that's trending and that's out there, yeah, sure, hop on it. But if it's, I'm just thinking we're getting close to Halloween. If it's some sort of Halloween costume,
right,
that's cheap, affordable, and cool, and that people might want to buy it, I would say steer away from that if you've already seen maybe 2 or 3 creators with, you know, really successful
going
videos.
Crazy with it, like the light up mask. That thing trends every year.
Yeah.
And I'm waiting for people to start posting it. I haven't seen it this year, but I know it's coming. I know it's coming. But I think I might start getting on that earlier rather than later, because I want to go viral with that. They pay a pretty good commission on that mask, so it'd be nice. That's awesome. So that's cool. So I mean, I think we all share kind of the same criteria when it comes to choosing products. You know, we don't necessarily want to go through and post something. Okay. You feel a long day, excuse me. We don't necessarily want to go through and post something that's already, or that doesn't have, you know, at least proven sales behind it, because you want to make sure the product's going to sell, for one. For two, you also don't want to, you know, post the product with a seller that doesn't have a good reputation, because if they've got bad rep in terms of shipping times or customer service or returns, you know, you don't want to sell those products because people are more apt to refund and you just won't get paid.
Right, exactly.
So it's rough. It's rough. Do you have any, being faceless, man, what are some of the techniques you use for engagement? I know we touched a little bit on this earlier in terms of like jump cuts, but outside of that, do you have any like techniques that you use to like force engagement on your videos more or less?
Yeah. So the quick cuts, like you mentioned, I focus on speed but quality. You can't just be fast and it can't be a blurry video. I mean, quality always has to be an underlying, you know, aspect of all your videos.
Right.
You have to have a clear camera. Maybe you're not going like this, but yeah, I'm going, you know, pretty quick. I like to have speed. I like to, especially for the quicker videos where I'm just trying to be informative, I like to just, you know, give the audience the 2 or 3 most important things about the product in my voiceover. And I kind of like want them to decide. I feel like if I spend too much time kind of being like, oh, you would like this because this, and this, or you would like this part because of this, and this, that's kind of where the video gets slower. And, you know, the attention span of someone on TikTok is already, you know, this big. So
Right.
If you can make that video as quick as you can, only giving them the 3 main facts, maybe they'll watch it again, you know, which would be awesome. Maybe they'll watch it again to get a more deeper understanding of, you know, how the product could serve them. But the reality is you're probably not going to know the best way a product would serve, you know, every different person. So I feel like kind of pushing it out there and serving them a plate full of food and letting them choose what they want to eat from it is kind of the best way for me with my faceless videos to have a quick but effective video that delivers everything I feel like the audience needs to buy the product and, you know, make an informed purchase.
I agree, and I think that works out well for you because, I mean, it does. I mean, people are going to rewatch the video to see different portions of the product that they, you know, maybe didn't see or possibly rewind it and just put it into play on how they would use it in their daily life. So, I mean, that works out. That's awesome. Have you had any sort of like specific setbacks? Have you outside of the violations in the very beginning, have you had an account banned, or have you had any crazy violations you haven't been able to get over, or any setbacks in general that have like deterred you from wanting to keep moving forward?
Yeah, well, since just talking violations first, since March, I've been between that kind of 12 to 18 point violation range I literally just got my account down to 3 in the last week. Because it seemed like every time I would be close to that 90-day period where one violation would expire, all of a sudden, boom, I'd get another one for having, you know, the Nike logo in the background.
Oh, that's so stupid. Yeah.
Or I used to say, you know, this pair of shoes is cheaper than a Chipotle burrito. And then, you know, Chipotle gets trademarked. So then and it's videos from a while back. It's not like I'm not making fresh new trademarked content. So that's a bummer when, you look and your violations from, 9 weeks ago. It's like, come on.
Yeah,
Like, what can
that
I
is so
do?
frustrating.
Guys, come on, what can I do? But I just got my account down to 3 points, which is awesome. I would say setbacks. Um, the pillow has been a consistent seller, so that on occasion, I think 2 or 3 times now. This is the third time. It's still out of commission. It's been out of commission for 2 weeks, but there were times in between where it was out of commission, and that's 50% of my money on most days. So when that's gone, all of a sudden I'm like, oh my gosh, like I got to make better content. Like reality's setting in. I think there's two things to like pull from that. One, you can't get complacent. If one product's kind of carrying your sales from residual sales, I feel like you can't let that interfere with the mindset of you got to keep being consistent. Even though you're making money
Right,
with one product, doesn't mean that product's always going to be there. Um,
right.
so continuing to make content on the side and not just relying, on one basket, having multiple baskets of products to rely on is huge. Um, and then also with that, I just think it's important to I'm trying to figure out how I want to say this.
Mhm.
You don't want to just have the one product. I don't know. I kind of lost my train of thought. I'm sorry.
You're fine. No, 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 you're fine. I mean, I think I get what you're saying. I mean, having just one product being your producer is kind of a danger to your own success
Yeah.
with that too. You want to have multiple products and at least multiple videos that are pumping out. So your consistency is key. I think we all fall victim to that. I did for damn sure. When my most viral video popped, I started slowing down, and I should have replicated the video multiple times over. You did that with the pillow, and you saw
Yes.
so much
Yeah.
success with that. And I made one video and I was done. It did 19 million views, and I didn't make I made two reply videos, and they both did really shitty. So in my head, I was like, why even remake it? But shortly after, I learned remaking your viral video over and over and over again is huge because it goes viral over and
Yes.
over and over again.
Yes.
So
And if one video is going viral, then I don't know how it works exactly, but I feel like a trend that I've noticed, if one video is going viral, video replying to that video and just replicating that video over and over again during the time frame that's going viral, you have, I feel like 100% extra chance of,
mhm.
you almost double your odds of making another viral video with that because I feel like TikTok just notices that you're the account pushing that, or the seller
Mhm.
notices that you're doing really well with it, so they ad spend more. I feel like that's a huge part of like since sustaining making money over time, which is what I did with the pillow. I
Right.
probably made 50 videos alone on just the pillow, maybe
That's
even
so
more, maybe even more.
crazy.
I don't know. And it's like how many times can you make a video of a pillow when so most people can't even come up with one way to make a video.
Right.
And I'm just replicating. I'm not doing anything crazily different. If you guys look at my videos back when I used to really push out the pillow, they're all, the same 20-second videos, just in different
Right.
orders with the words rearranged, and it's all the same. It's just
20
reproduced
seconds is
over and over.
crazy.
Mhm.
I can't make videos that short, man. I can never get a video to be less than like a minute. You know Amber inside the group, right?
Yes, of course.
Dude,
Awesome.
she's made on those Saguaro, well, on the barefoot
The
shoes.
shoes.
Yeah, she's made like 160 videos on them, dude. Insanity. Like,
Wow.
and just she's made well over 100K with them. Kind of like you with the pillow. You've made close to 100K with the pillow alone, which is just wild to me. So, man,
Yes.
I want to touch back on what you said in the very beginning. You saw your roommate make 100K. You wanted to make 100K, and
Yeah.
then bro goes off and makes damn near 100K on just a pillow. Like
Mhm.
that is so crazy to me.
Yeah.
Ah,
He
man.
couldn't really believe it either. He was just like, oh, how much did you make today? It's like, made another 2,000. He was like, what? Like, because he was kind of slowing down. By the time
Yeah,
January, February came on, like he's kind of a free spirit. He just hops around different things and just tries
sure.
out all the time. He's like, wow, maybe I need to like, get back into it and reevaluate what I'm working on right now because I can't believe you're still making. He used to tell me in January, he's like, oh, I think TikTok Shop is dead. I think it's over because he was crushing it because you could do whatever you want back when he was doing it at the end of 2023.
Yep.
And as they started adding more rules, he was kind of like, like this isn't
Yeah, a
for
lot of
me.
people fell off. A lot of those larger creators, but like the more successful ones then
Yeah,
fell off of it because having to adapt to the rules and go viral again became harder. And
yeah,
that's when I started learning. I learned when it was at its peak of
yeah,
constantly changing rules and
yeah.
all this crazy shit. So like for me, it was one of those
All
things
we've
that
ever known.
yeah, that's all I've ever known, all you've ever known. And
Yeah.
now, I in the last month I've had 5 videos go viral over 1 million views. So
Beautiful.
like Yeah, it's one of those. Yeah, it's one of those things where you just learn how to adapt. And
Yeah.
there's a formula I use every time: hook, relatability, controversy, call to action. That is all I use, and it works. You know,
Yeah.
it's just one of those things.
Hmm.
It's just the perfect formula for the video. Now, how you put it together is up to you, but
Right.
as long as you include those four things, I mean, you're good to go. I mean, you're bound to find success in there. Um,
Mhm.
so outside of setbacks, man, what was some of the was there anything specific to Social Army that after joining and really hanging out and sitting tight that you could attribute to just moving forward? I mean, what part of Social Army has really helped you just kind of keep your head in the game? A lot of people love to refer back to the chat or the win section, and for me, I know I can say that that's one of the biggest things for me.
Yeah, I mean, when I'm having a poor day, or not even a poor day, if I'm just having an okay day or a great day, the wins chat is just it's just awesome. You see someone that posts, a $10 win, but then you read the context under it and it's first sale after trying for only 3 days. And it's like after 3 days you already made a sale online after you probably thought you like that would never be you. Like that's awesome. And then
Hmm.
you see someone that's like first $100 day. And you're like, that's awesome. Like that's crazy. You just made crazy money. And then you see, oh, I just made 10,000 this week. Not me, but someone else. And
Right.
it's awesome. It has all these emojis. Like everyone's happy for them. That part's super cool. I mean, it's just people. It's just our community being a community, and everyone genuinely wanting to see each other win. I like the video feedback section though because um, I would put my videos in there, but more recently, people will, after watching my module in the course, they'll say, at Aiden, what do you think about this? And I think it's cool
Yes.
that people are like incorporating the things that I said have worked for me, and it's so fun for me to go in there and type out a lengthy response saying like, this is awesome, just try this, just tweak this, and they're like, oh, I'll try that, and then they come back or they DM me like 2 or 3 days later, and like my video hit 1,000 views like after you told me that, and I'm like, well,
Yeah.
that's all you, like you're the one that did it yourself. Like I love that I gave you maybe a little bit of context and some background on how to make it more successful, but I mean that's all you. And
I
I
think
feel
it's
like,
the motivating factor as well
yeah.
because now you're enforcing the idea that what they're creating is not bad. But there's a
No.
couple of different areas where key changes are important.
Yeah.
And when you help them with those changes and then they go post it, they're making these videos with more confidence than ever before. So
Yeah.
and it shows. I mean, it
Yes.
shows. And right then and there they start to really see those results and just the fruits of their labor. I mean, it's great to see.
Yep.
And it happens all the time. All the
Yeah.
time. I see
Yeah.
so many people get some feedback in there and they implement it and then boom, they go
Yeah.
crazy viral
Boom.
with the
Yep.
video. Like it's
Yep.
crazy.
Yep. And I also I love like you mentioned earlier, someone the newcomers or whoever else may be keeping up to date on the changes of TikTok and the violations and what's now a violation, what isn't. That's not information that you just wake up and you have on iMessages like, hey, the new violations today
Right.
are XYZ. It's great to go in there and be able to see that people are working together to help keep everyone afloat and what's actively
Hmm.
going on so that none of us have that bad day where we get a 24-point violation. I mean, hopefully that happens to no one, but
It's
um,
happened to me.
yeah, yeah,
I
I
got a
don't have any of
reverse though. I got my personal branding account. I got a 24 point at a 24-point violation. The only violation that account's ever got. And they gave me a full 24
wow, that's
because
hilarious.
I posted content from another one of my pages, but luckily I got it
Uh,
appealed. But yeah, it sucks, man. It's not a good feeling.
no, I doubt it. Can't imagine.
It's not a good feeling. I've had so many accounts banned. Excuse me. All right. So, what are some of the key lessons, man, that you think you can take? Excuse me, take away from doing this. I mean, you're 22 years old. You quit your job as a server. You're going to school, going to law school, nonetheless. And are you living alone, or you have a roommate, or how
I
is
live,
that?
yeah, I live in an apartment with like my best buddies here at college. So it's
Okay.
me and four other guys. So
Okay.
I mean that's super awesome. I've told them that
Right.
anytime they want to try TikTok they
Yeah.
can, and I'll,
Teach
I'll
them.
show them how and teach them how to grow accounts and stuff like that. Um, but yeah, I mean the biggest lessons I've learned, what I'm most proud of myself for in doing it is
Hmm.
actually just the fact that I feel like I always used to follow those Instagram pages like the motivation, the business accounts or whatever, and it's always
Hmm.
like you can make money online just by doing this. And some of those might be scams. Sure, of course, some of
Right.
them might be, but I took my roommate last year and I actually I believed what he said and I said, you know what, I'm gonna give this a try. I don't think I can make money online. Like I don't think that's for me. I'm not really a tech enthusiast or
Right.
entrepreneur mindset. Like I'm kind of just go to school, work hard, and you'll eventually succeed.
Sure.
And not that TikTok isn't hard work, but I'm just saying you can leverage your time a lot better by putting in a lot less to make a lot more. Which is I think that that's what internet sales does. That's what TikTok Shop is doing for so many people out there, and I'm just super proud of myself for believing in myself even after I initially failed to keep going in that, to realize that anyone can make a sale online as long as you position yourself and you eventually find what works best for you. For me, it was faceless content. For me, it was products that I genuinely enjoy and just continuing to post over time. I used to post 4 to 6 times a day, especially when I was starting out. And I feel like just that having that high volume of posts out there not only put my content out there more, but also made me better as a creator. Like if I go back
Right.
to my first post, I'll cringe. Like it's gross to hear how bad it sounds and how bad the quality is. And then I look at my videos now, and I'm not saying they're anything that's perfect, but they're a lot better objectively in terms of like quality and
Sure.
content and how I'm showing the product, my call to action, relatability versus informing, like all of that
Right.
has just gone up over time.
Right. And good for you, for stepping away from it when your violations got high, but then knowing that, hey, there was something here. Let me come back and see what I can make of it. Good for you on that. I feel
Thank
like
you.
a lot of people, they get in, they expect results right away. They fail fast and they just fail hard. They don't ever come back to it. But the ones who fail fast, get up and keep failing fast over and over are the ones who get through it quicker and learn the lessons faster and really reap the rewards. So that's one of those things where it's hard to get up or hard to go back to it when you don't see any results. But when you see everyone else around you succeeding, there's something there. It doesn't take the best person in the world to do it. Hell, you don't even have to know anything about TikTok to become successful on TikTok. It's insane. We have people at the age of 70 and 80 years old that are making sales on TikTok
Yeah.
Shop. So
Yeah. Yeah, no, I didn't. I make all my videos within TikTok. I didn't have TikTok prior to doing TikTok Shop. I did way back in the day.
really
No, yeah,
interesting.
yeah, I had it back in high school when it was first popular and it was trending and all that kind of stuff. But I would get really distracted and I try to like limit as many distractions as I can on my phone because TikTok, I mean, I can scroll for hours and realize that
Yeah,
hours
I
went
live
by
on TikTok.
without even realizing. So, um, yeah, I re-downloaded it in January, and so I mean, I had to go in there and figure out how to cut up videos and dice them up and voiceover, and that's just playing around. That's just learning something new every day. That's just posting over and over again and doing trial and error until it works for you. So,
hmm That's it, man. You just got to post and you just got to
right,
start. I mean, really,
yeah,
at the end of the
starting
day,
is huge.
starting is huge. That's the biggest part. That's the biggest part. All right. So we are wrapping up on time here, but I have time for a couple more questions that I want to ask you. Um, you're in a relationship, and I thought this was really cool. By the way, you guys, this is how cool Aiden is, okay? He lives in Ohio. I live in is from Ohio. I live in Oklahoma. This guy traveled across the country to go to Arizona. On his road trip, he purposely made my house a destination to stop at so we can meet in person. So
It's
that was
worth
that
it.
was awesome. Got to show up to the community live that we did on Wednesday. Got to have some dinner. It was pretty cool. But Aiden's in a relationship. And for those of you out there who are in a relationship and you guys might be struggling with work and things like that, once one of you becomes successful on TikTok Shop, teach your spouse. Aiden's teaching his girlfriend how to do this. Girlfriend, right? Or is she your fiance?
Girlfriend,
Girlfriend?
yeah, yeah, girlfriend.
Girlfriend. Teaching his girlfriend how to do this. And she's now finding success with it.
Yeah.
Now they both do TikTok Shop. It's crazy. And now I'm working on teaching my wife. She posted her first video the other day. Only got 400 views, but hey, it's a start. She posted her first video. But teach them. And Aiden, how receptive would you say she is in learning how to do this? And how was she skeptical in the beginning when you started doing this kind of stuff?
Oh yeah, for sure. Like I said, at first I was nervous to show my friends and stuff. I'd show her
Right.
my videos, and she knew I had the account at first, and she would laugh a little bit, but she'd give me a comment, make me feel a little bit better on the video.
Hey, there's the
Maybe give it a
support.
like, like
Yeah.
maybe it has one like instead of zero. But
I
but
like my
yeah,
own videos when I'm stuck at zero. I hate
yeah,
seeing that.
her attitude seemed to change a little bit though, as soon as I started making, a couple $100 a day. And then that's when I was
Sure.
like, okay, like maybe you're not so goofy for doing this. Maybe you should teach me a little bit. And I was like, oh,
Sure.
okay, sure. But yeah, she herself now, she does include her face in her videos. She does a lot of clothing products and makeup and all that kind of stuff, which is huge for girls. Like, I mean,
Massive.
there's always going to be demand for makeup, hair, skin products, clothes. I mean, that's
Hmm.
not seasonal, that's all the time. And so she's herself, since I believe she probably started in April, has done 300,000 in sales, which is incredible. You know, she's crushing it. And I'd be proud of her regardless. But I mean, even if she was just doing,
300K in sales in, gosh, less than 5 months is crazy.
yeah,
I mean,
she's
that's
crushing
great.
it.
Yeah,
Yeah, she's
that's
doing really
great.
well.
Man, so I mean, it's insane. I mean, you guys have done over $1 million in sales in less than a year's time.
Yeah,
I mean,
yeah.
that's the beginning of a power couple if I've ever seen one. So, I mean, y'all are really doing well. I mean, that's crazy. And how old? Your girlfriend's the same age as you, right?
Yep, she's 21, so 1 year younger than me,
21.
but we're the
Yeah,
same age in school. So we both
I,
graduate this year.
I love it.
She's working on being a teacher, and I'm working on going to law school. So
Well, let's go. I mean, both of y'all are making more income than the professions you want to go into anyway. So who knows? Maybe you'll end up pursuing this
making it hard to
deeper.
stop, making it hard to stop
Right.
for sure.
It's
She doesn't
crazy.
want to she doesn't want to teach as much anymore. She's like, oh, like I could see myself doing this for a long time. Like, you could just got to keep, you got to stick
Yeah.
with it, and practice ways to like sustain it, like work with brands, develop those relationships, make it so that if TikTok eventually fails, maybe the platform gets shut down, maybe not, maybe your best selling products get shut down, maybe not. But having that backup plan and having that relationship with the brands can't hurt. Maybe they'll offer you a
At
job.
all. Right.
Um, as like a marketer for their company later
Yep.
on. You never know.
And building on multiple different platforms too, building a following on YouTube,
Yep.
repurposing your content on Amazon because Amazon's here to stay. You
Amazon's
know, man, it's crazy. Repurposing your videos on Instagram with affiliate links to the same products on Amazon because almost every product that's on TikTok is also on Amazon.
hmm
Granted, the affiliate link permission or commissions are a lot smaller. I mean, considerably smaller. It's still another way to repurpose your already performing content. So, I mean,
right.
it's smart. It's really smart. Awesome. Well, dude, I have had a pleasure having you on here today, and I enjoy our conversations as always. Um, is there anything you want to add to this before we hit the closing section of the podcast here today? Is there any advice you want to give to any sort of beginners that are out there?
The beginners. I would say like I mean, kind of like we've reiterated, you just got to start. You just got to put yourself out there.
That's what I
You
was
don't
waiting
even have
for.
to include
Just
your face.
start.
Just do it. Just take one leap of faith. You have no idea where it could lead. I just in life in general, I find it way easier to do a big project when I just take the first step. If I have a big project to do for school, just literally writing out an intro paragraph makes it so much easier to just start, the next day and get going.
That's
But the longer you
huge.
put it off, I feel like the bigger of a task you make it seem like in your head, and it's like you're pushing it, and that pile just seems to grow like a mountain behind you, and it's all of a sudden like it's way too daunting to even start. Don't let that build
Yeah.
up. Just do it. Just take one leap of faith. And it's not really, I mean, TikTok is relatively low barriers to entry. It's not even that big of a leap of faith. You just gotta
You can start
download the
TikTok
app and
Shop for
post a
zero
video.
money. Yeah, you can start
No
TikTok
money.
Shop for zero money. All you need is the followers.
Yeah,
That's all you
literally
need.
all you need. Yep.
It's crazy to think about, and like you said, just start. The best investment you can ever make is investing in yourself.
100%.
And by investing in yourself, educate yourself. The education's free. Come to these podcasts, watch these podcasts. We do
Yeah.
these for free. The
Yeah.
value you'll get out of this is more value than you'd ever get sitting behind a desk listening to somebody who does
Mhm.
not know what they're talking about. So it's huge. Absolutely huge. Aiden, I appreciate you being on here today. You guys, if you want to join the social army, if you want to learn from Aiden, if you want to learn from me, if you want to learn from all the other creators within inside of our group, there is a link that's going to be down below this video in the description. That link is going to be Aiden's link. So by joining, you'll be directly supporting him. And we appreciate you guys for watching and being here today. Aiden, I appreciate you for being on here. And you guys don't forget, he's got the entire, and not just a case study, an entire course module on faceless content and how to become successful with it. So if you want to watch that and you're afraid about showing your mug, go watch his content. And believe me, I was too, because I got some chubby cheeks and I'm not the best to look at. But at the end of the day, I know there's a lot of people out there who do not want to show themselves on the internet, and you can still find success without having to do so. He is living, walking, breathing proof of that.
Well, hey, thanks a lot for having me again.
Yeah.
Seriously, it's always a great time. And thank you to everyone that was listening. I hope you guys learned at least something. And if you are in the community or if you want to join the community, seriously, DM me anytime, especially after this week when I'm done taking my exam. I'm so much more free. I'm responding to DMs nightly as often as I can. So I love helping people out because it helps me too. So there's something in it
Yes.
for me as well. So always reach out, never be hesitant. And I hope to see you guys soon in the community.
Let's go. Well, hey, appreciate y'all. We will see you guys on the next one. Later, guys.